got a year 12 education, so you know I wasn't good at schoolwork. It just wasn't my thing. So then when we moved from Queensland to Melbourne was around this time. You know, I was going to go back into school and that, but I hated all the schools down here. I just hated school. It wasn't my thing. So, you know, I started hanging out at the local arcades and that. I told you about when I first played Reptile and all that at Magic City and all that. And I became friends with my local arcade owner, and he gave me a job eventually, and I was just working in the arcade. I really liked it. I liked tinkering with the games. I got to play them for free, you know. Got to serve customers. It was good. I got to deal with people. I got to deal with other gamers too. So yeah, and I did that for years, and that's how I got my arcade machine. I bought it from my old work, you know. But you can buy them. People ask me, where do you buy them? You just buy them from arcade dealers, you know. But yeah, so I worked in an arcade. Then when that job finished, I worked in a computer store for a few years, you know. I've always been into computers, and I can upgrade them and that. And then I worked in another game store that was like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo games. That was just like console games, no computers and that. And then after that, you know, just recently had just a casual job that only went for a few months over Christmas, which is why I was sort of busy. But all I was doing was moving computers, and that was paying $25 an hour, believe it or not. So that was an awesome job, but yeah, unfortunately it didn't last. But yeah, so I've always got jobs here and there, you know, and in between, you know, in Australia we have a system that if you don't have a job, the government will give you money, you know, and it's enough for me to live on. You know, I can't go out and buy games when I'm living on that system, you know. I can just get food and that. And I'm living in my parents' house here at the moment, and they're living in Queensland, but they might be selling this house this year, so I don't know. So I've got a house, you know, I don't have to pay rent, and I can get food with the money if I don't have my job from the government. So, you know, and you guys have that too. I think you guys call it welfare. We call it the dole here, and I think like you guys see it really as a real bad thing to be on welfare and that. But in Australia, we sort of, you know, a lot of people do it because it's not always so easy to get a job, especially, you know, if you know, I have skills. I'm good with computers and that, but you know. Then again, there's a million other guys out there that are good at computers who can do Flash. They can do a million other things that I can't do. So yeah, and it's just what do you do for a living? You know, it's pretty much always been in relation to games, except for my last job, and that's just because I needed money. But I always try and do stuff with games, and that's where I see my future. I've tried to get games in game testing in Melbourne for various gaming studios, and you know, now I'm working on the YouTube thing and just building that up, and yeah, hopefully there's something in my future, but yeah, just take it one day at a time. So yeah, that answers that question. Next, question number 8 by Cheese Buffer. How did you feel fighting Reptile for the first time in MK1? Did you win or lose? Man, I felt so good. It was at Magic City. I'd been trying to fight Reptile for some time when I saw the shadow there, and I was like, man, and I'd missed my chance a few times. And then I finally got it one day with Kano, and people crowded around me. I told this to Ed Boon. He laughed. He thought it was really funny. But I actually had people crowding around me when I did that from this arcade because it made so much noise. No one had heard that come from the Mortal Kombat machine. Everyone was like, you know, and they all came over, and then they saw I was in the pit, and no one knew how I did it. Like, everyone was like, how did he get in the pit? You know, that's like the best background ever to fight in. And I was fighting Reptile, and they were like, who's that guy? He's green. You know, why is his name Scorpion? You know, no one knows why his name is Scorpion. It says Scorpion on the life bar, but when you lose to him, it says Reptile wins. Now, I'm pretty sure the first time I fought him, I lost. I'm pretty sure. But it's possible I did win, because I knew the fly kick thing has a good effect on the computer. I think I put up a really good fight, but lost because I wasn't anticipating the speed of Reptile. Although I had already fought him prior to this on Mega Drive and that. I fought him originally on Mega Drive, but he was slow on that. That doesn't count, man. I talk about arcade. The first time I fought him on arcade, I was like, oh my god. He like just came right over to me and froze me and then did the harpoon. I'm like, what the fuck? He's got Scorpion and Sub-Zero's move? No way. You know? So, and I was like really pumped. Like, I felt this adrenaline. Like, I was playing an arcade game. I was like freaking out, man. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, you know? And that's when I knew, like, I already loved Mortal Kombat, but when I saw like that, it just... I'd never seen anything like that in an arcade before. A secret character like that was so secret to get to, you know. So that was awesome. Right. Question number 9. Dragon Dude 62 asks, who do you like better, Kung Lao or Liu Kang? Definitely Kung Lao. Kung Lao's a good guy, but he's also hardcore, man. That hat, MK2, where he cuts him in half. Holy shit, man! That was fucked up, you know? For Shaolin Monk, that's pretty messed up, you know? So, definitely Kung Lao. Liu Kang's awesome. He's a lot of fun to play as. But Kung Lao had the attitude, man. And he looked really cool with the hat. Definitely. They definitely got that from Goldfinger. Odd job. Question 10. Zerdos2 asks, if you could, would you spray paint MK character on your car? I don't have a car, I don't drive yet. But it's always been my plan that if I do get a car, I want to get a giant Mortal Kombat emblem painted on the bonnet. That's always been my rule. I've always told my friends that. If I do get a car and I've got the money, I want to get a big dragon on the bonnet. And yeah. I wanted the number plate TMK too, but it's been taken. So, might have to get TotalMK or something, but yeah. If I had a character, I'd get Scorpion. It would be either from Deadly Alliance, you know, where he's throwing the harpoon, or the Deception one. Question 11. Willow Alchemist, which MK character would you like to live a day as? I don't think I'd like to live a day as any of them. I mean, think about it. They've all got a death wish. I mean, all those fatalities, man. Risk management. Is there insurance? Do you get insured? Life insurance? You need it. If I had to be someone, I'd probably, just for the sake of surviving, say someone like Anaga. Just because he was an asshole. You know, but if you were going to say one of the normal characters, I'd just love to live a day as Scorpion. Yeah, throw that harpoon, do those fiery teleports and that. Then again, it'd be fun being Quan Chi, throwing all those green skulls. So, I'd probably say Scorpion. Question 12. Stev02006 asks, I have a good one. What would your number one way to destroy the abomination that is MK Special Forces? Shoot the disc, burn it, something incredibly gruesome. The thing you need to understand about MK Special Forces is it came from Satan's asshole. You can't destroy it, man. It is the pinnacle of evil. No matter what you do to it, you can't. It just reforms. It's like the fucking T-1000, man. That game is evil. Evil shit. You can't destroy it. I'm sorry. You can't. Okay. Question 13. Sword1119 asks, since Scorpion wasn't in the original MK3, who replaced him until UMK3 is your favourite? The first time I saw MK3, I was like, you know, I heard about it and I was like, I ran over to the machine. I'm like, oh my god, you know, chucked in my money, and I just hit start. I didn't even like watch the demo or watch anyone else. And I thought, I'll just pick Scorpion, no worries. And it come up. And I'm like, there's Sub-Zero. Where's Scorpion? Is it this yellow guy? Put my cursor on it. I'm like, he's a fucking robot. That can't be Scorpion. And I used him. I used Cyrax. And I'm like, and then someone came over and told me how to do the net move or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, you know. And I liked playing as Cyrax. He was really easy to play as. I'm like, oh yeah, this character's pretty sweet. And then I thought, I'll try the red guy, Sector, you know. And I think the guy that worked at Time Zone, because we started a challenge for a while, we used to play each other. I think he told me Sector's moves. And I like Sector heaps more. He had the and I just thought the missiles were crazy. I'm just like, oh my god! Yeah, I really like Sector, and even though I did think he needed one more move, he really only had 2 moves in my book. He had the teleport uppercut, and he had the missile, but there were just 2 variations of it. One was homing and one was straight. I always thought he needed one more attack. And back then his fatality was back high kick, and then it became low punch run block. And yeah, I think Sector became my favourite. But I hadn't played as Smoke then, I will say that, because Smoke wasn't unlocked the first time I played MK3. But I still think even with Smoke unlocked, Sector was my favourite. I really like Nightwolf too, but I liked him more later on, after I'd played everyone and I owned the game and all that, you know, if it came good with everyone. Question 14. D Quarters asks, since the original MK, what have been the changes that made you the maddest and happiest? Gameplay, costume, story, whatever. The biggest emotional responses. I don't know about mad, but I didn't like it when Sub-Zero had the Shredder helmet. I don't think anyone did, really, in Deception, where he had the 3 prongs, because I love Ninja Turtles, and, like, even if they were paying homage to it, I didn't want Ninja Turtles and Mortal Kombat to cross paths, really, you know. That would have been something that annoyed me. I think the biggest emotional response I ever got was Mortal Kombat in DC Universe, when it was first announced. Everyone, there were rumours, people were saying it's going to be Batman, and I'm like, nah, fuck off. You're smoking crack, man. You know, people were saying, it's going to be Batman, there's Batman's hand in the blurry bit. I'm like, it is not Batman's hand, it's a black fucking blur. How do you see Batman's hand in that? You know, and it turned out it was fucking Batman. I'm like, fuck. I couldn't believe it, really. I'm like, man, I was disappointed at the time. I wasn't mad, and I'll always give Mortal Kombat a chance. I'm not one of those guys that just goes, nah, I'm not fucking playing that, you know. So, but I told you guys, you know, I was disappointed and I didn't expect that and everything. So, yeah, I was disappointed with that, and I've never been really mad. I hated Dairu. Dairu made me mad. Fucking Dairu and fucking Kai. I hate those characters, man. I'll say they made me the maddest. I really despise those characters. The happiest was definitely like seeing MK Deadly Alliance come back after 5 years, because you know I was in a slump without my combat, man. You know, between MK4 and DA, and I was seeing all these videos on MortalKombat.com, which are on my YouTube now. You know, where they'd say, well, if I have anything to say about it, so Scorpion's coming back, and if Scorpion's coming back, Sub-Zero's coming back. Oh, when's the game coming out? You know, so, yeah, and then when it came out, I couldn't believe the amount of work they put into Deadly Alliance. Because in arcades, it was always quick and simple and to the point. But whereas when they went on home systems, they were able to take it more slow, make the fatalities longer, you know, put more work into it. So I think that was I was really happy that MK was still around, even though now it was on home systems. But I really wish it was still on arcade, I love getting in people's faces in the arcade. Nothing beats it. And people talk trash over microphone, but, you know, they wouldn't talk like that in arcades, half of them, you know, so. Yeah, alright, next and final question. Killjoy95261 asks, what do you think MK9 will be like, and how do you think the combat will be? I think the combat will be exactly what is in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. I think they're going to take that system, everyone likes it, revamp it, add new characters, maybe add some new features into it, like, you know, how they had close combat in this and free-fall combat. They might add something new to the system for MK9, but I think basically we're going to get the same thing. I think it will be, you know, the same. That high-res arenas like that, good renders, all that, you know. And, yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing the announcement of MK9, and as long as Scorpion's in it, and I think Ed Boon knows that Scorpion will always be in it now, from the stuff he said at E3 in his interview, so I know at least as long as Scorpion's in it, I'll always play it. They made a game about Rain, I'd be like, fuck you. You know, Rain and Noob Saibot. I really don't like them much. I don't hate them. I know there's a lot of fans out there, but I liked Noob more in MK2 when he was that harder than the boss characters type character, you know. If you beat him, you really had the bragging rights to say, hey man, I've beat Noob Saibot, back the fuck off. You know, whereas Noob Saibot just became a chump in Trilogy with his fucking fireball that makes people not be able to block, and his cheap ass low kick, low kick, low kick, low kick combo. What a noob character, man. And Rain's roundhouse through the screen, I like that, that was cool, but the lightning was like cool, but I just thought Raiden should have that move, you know, it sort of pissed me off. The water ball thing was pretty cool too. But yeah, that's why I don't like those characters much. But yeah, MK9 will be good. One thing I really want to see is I want to see the portal midway. I want to see the fucking portal from Mortal Kombat 2 in high resolution, like MK versus DC. I want to see it real big, you know, and I want those floating monks. I don't want those portals from Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks was cool in that, but you know, they had the monks, but then they came over and fought. I thought they were just cool as background ornaments, just floating there like as guards. They just looked real ominous and cool, you know. So I want to see like something like that come back. I think the Living Forest should come back, and I think there should be a new pit. One in 3D, man, like a real hardcore one. If you want MK real hardcore and violent, I want the pit to be fucking disgusting. I want there to be fucking dismembered bodies hanging upside down. I want there to just be guts on one of the pylons. Just guts, nothing else. Just like intestines wrapped around spikes. I want to see like a head, just a head on a pylon with a big spike coming through it. And I just want it to be fucking awful. I want to vomit when I see it. Put it that way. I want the pit to come back, and I want it to be brutal. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And that's it for this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for submitting all your questions. There were some good ones. And I'll put the next Ask TMK up soon, so you guys can resubmit questions or ask new ones. And yeah, I'm going to finish my coat now. And get back to my daily duties, which today isn't much. I've just been playing Dead Space on Xbox, so I've still got a bit of Command & Conquer to play, and yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.